Boy, I got a good one for you today. I'm telling you, RV buyers, you better beware. There is a deceptive, illegal tactic that many RV dealers are using right now to squeeze thousands of extra dollars out of you, and they're getting away with it. It's a scam. It's a scam. It is designed to trap buyers at the very last minute after they have spent hours at the dealership. They are emotionally invested in the purchase and they're ready to drive away in their brand new RV. But at the last minute, they are hit with hidden fees and these required fees, surprise costs, if you will, that they never saw coming. Now, this is nothing new, but it is becoming more and more common nowadays, and it may have even happened to you. So, in today's interview, you're going to hear from a man who turns out has spent more than 3 decades. It's like 30 something years in the RV industry. And he works for one of America's most trusted RV dealers. He has seen this scam firsthand too many times. And he's here to expose how it works, why it's illegal, and what you can do to stop it. It's time to fight back, folks, against these sleazy dealers, and you can do it, even if you haven't bought an RV yet. Just scan the QR code right down here, scan the QR code, or find the link that is in the description down below. That will take you to a Google document I prepared that outlines these deceptive practices and how you can report them. Gosh, I hope you'll do it. Check it out if you would. I'll put it up a couple of times during the interview. If you are tired of hearing about sleazy, lying RV dealers who use illegal tactics to line their pockets with your money, I say it's time that we level the playing field and hold these dishonest dealers accountable. When I was up there seeing you guys the other day, Terry, you came out and said, "Hey, Alan, I got to show you something before you leave." And I didn't realize how important it was. So this, I think, happens way more than people think, and consumers need to know this. So kind of set the stage, if you would, and tell us from a salesperson standpoint what people need to know and be on the lookout for.
Sure. It started, I'd say last summer. I had some customers that were looking at a Jayco of ours. We had it priced at $23,995, and everything went well. They were ready to buy the unit. They went home to think about it, and then they text me a picture of an ad from another dealership where it was at $19,995.
Really?
Alan, I know we're not even making that much money in this situation, so I know there's something wrong. And she said, "Look, we love you. We love you guys. We love everything, but you're way too high on your price. You have to come down and match this price, but we want to buy from you." And I said, "Would you mind sending me, or, you don't have to tell me who it is, but just send me what you're seeing." So
yeah,
immediately she sent me a link to RV Trader, and there it is in black and white, $19,995. The problem is it has a small asterisk, and I got to reading down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it basically said price excludes government fees and taxes, which is fine. So does ours. That's normal. But then it goes on to say that price also excludes dealer prep, dock fees. That's fair. We have a dock fee. Freight. That's not fair. Freight. And requires financing through the dealership.
Okay. You can't do that. Terry.
I know. So yeah, they're beating us by $3,000. So I told her, "Look, you need to get something in writing that shows me what they're charging you for the dealer prep and for the freight and all of that."
And hang on, and that's so you can compare apples to apples. So
absolutely
makes sense. So what happened?
So they would not give her that over the phone. So she had to drive down there, which she did, and spent about 4 hours at the dealership. And finally came back and said, "Okay, you're right. They were charging me $1,250 for dealer prep, $3,100 for freight, and the financing. They were going to do that anyway, so that wasn't a big deal. But they said if they did not finance through that dealership, that price was going to increase by another $1,000. So basically, when it was all said and done, we were still $2,500 cheaper. But what frustrates me is that they're able to advertise this low price, which makes us look like we're too high, and people don't read the fine print there on the website.
And so does this happen? I guess it happens more often than you guys want it to happen. And people, what do they do, Terry? Because they get led down this path if all they focus on is price. They got the same RV here at dealer A, dealer B. This one's a whole lot cheaper over here.
Right. My fear, Alan, is that they think we all charge these fees, which we don't. So I feel like it's just a deceptive advertising just to get people to call or to get them to come into the store. And then when they sit down, obviously at some point they roll out these fees, but I'm worried, it's mostly, I think, the first time buyers that get taken by this because they just, I guess all dealers price them this way without the freight and without the dealer prep. And so who knows? I mean, how many unassuming first time buyers are getting charged all these erroneous fees.
And don't you think that many of those buyers, when your buyer, for example, went to that other place, they said, well, they all do it. All the dealers do it. So RV Station is going to increase their price anyway. But you guys, one of the reasons why I love you guys so much is you don't do any of those tricks.
Right.
But to me, it's great to bait and switch if all you want to do is screw people over.
Right.
And be dishonest. I think it is truly breaking the law. Now, you've been in the RV business a long time. Has this always taken place?
No.
What do you think is causing it?
So I think it's coming in just from the bigger corporate stores. I won't name any names. I feel like it's tactics that have come over from the automotive industry is kind of my thoughts to that. Because it's never happened. We've never had to go up against this ever until I started seeing it about a year ago, probably.
How does it hurt the dealer like you? I mean, if it's a good thing you have such a relationship with your customers, I think, to have them, apples to apples, but it wastes the customer's time. They got to go and spend, like you said, hours at XYZ dealership.
Sure. Yeah. In this particular case, they would not give them anything, text, email, or anything. They said, you just have to come in because obviously they're hiding something, right? So, it's just unfortunate. It makes us look like we're high when we're really not high on our prices. That's what frustrates me. Alan, in this particular case, we're making less than 10% on this trailer. We're talking about hundreds of dollars that we're profiting, and yet in the consumer's eyes, they think immediately that we're $3,000.
You're sticking it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't blame the consumer for thinking that.
Hang on. They don't know any better. Yeah.
What we're talking about, folks, this is illegal. This is deceptive. This is fraud. This is wrong. It is against the law. And I know that you guys, all the dealers love you guys because you guys are so above board.
Sure.
But if you don't mention it to someone, if the consumer doesn't mention it to, for example, in Texas, the Texas RV Dealers Association, if they don't mention it to somebody, these dealers can just run away with it. And they can do it. And they do it all day long because nobody's going to prosecute them.
I've actually had customers come in and we're very transparent. We go through the numbers with them, show them the out the door price. And I've had them say, oh, you mean you don't charge me to prep it and your freight's included and all that sort of thing. And sometimes they're shocked. But it's a shame that we're having to deal with this type of stuff, in my opinion.
What do you think this does to the future buyer, to the RV industry as a whole? Because when did you start? 20 years ago, 30 years ago in the RV industry?
Yeah, long time ago. 30.
So how do you think these tactics will affect the future of those people that were burned by these techniques and these sleazy tactics?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, as a salesperson, I would not want to be referred to as an automotive or car salesperson because everybody has their opinions of that, but I just hate to see our industry stoop to those levels, to where we're untrustworthy, because we're trying to be as transparent as possible here.
What are some red flags that people should think about when they, when should the alarm bells go off? Because on RV Trader, there's thousands of RVs, thousands of them, and they all have the little bitty fine print.
Yeah, and some of them aren't putting that now. I mean, they're not putting the fine print. Again, I hate to mention names, but it's your bigger corporate stores with multinational, locations everywhere, and they're just playing these price games. So, I would just, if I'm a consumer, I want them to clearly spell out the numbers for me. I want to see what I'm paying. Obviously, I know I have to pay sales tax. That's fine. I understand I have to pay for my license plates and registration, but
Yes.
I want to see what else there is that they're charging me. And I don't want to wait until I'm there picking up the unit all excited and ready to go home. I want to see all that up front before I make the decision, to drive there. And if a dealer will not share that with you, either in writing, either email, text, or something, then I'd be leery to drive down there and see them in person.
I completely agree with you, but sadly, most of those big dealers, they won't do that. They will use tech. We got this and that. And they'll come up with some kind of a story, which a translation for that is a lie, to
Right.
get you to come in and manipulate you.
Sure.
And so it's the out the door price. You mentioned that the out the door price. That's what people should care about. And I don't know. It would seem to me I think that's one reason Terry Marshall and RV Station has got such a repeat business, because you don't gouge your eyeballs out. You tell them the truth, and you've got good service. You've got it's a square deal. You make the experience a good one instead of just getting them in the door and getting the next one back in.
And again, I appreciate you bringing this up, because I feel like it's the first time buyers that fall for this. I think if someone's owned an RV, they've been through the process, they've bought one, they're not going to just blindly pay these fees, but it's the new people. And a customer even told me, I just thought that's how the RVs worked.
Yeah. Well, I think that if they advertise a price, that's the price you have to sell it for. I think, not trying to play lawyer here, but that's the advertised price. And then we have these extra fees like transportation. Well, you already got the thing transported to you when you bought the dang thing, know?
Exactly.
And then they also use the technique of, everybody charges this. You'll find out. Go back over to RV Station. You'll find out, knowing that most people won't. Well, okay, I guess I need to believe you.
Sure. Yeah, my thing is just, if someone wants to buy a unit from us, we will give you all the fees laid out in black and white. We will email that to you, text it, lay it on the desk, take a picture and text it to you. You just, you need transparency. That's the bottom line.
Do you think that this kind of tactic, if you will, it's come about because the economy's tougher right now, and margins are small, and these dealers have got huge overhead, and they're just trying to come up with any way possible to bring people in, knowing they may lose some of them, but they'll get most of them.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And it's just so competitive nowadays. Everyone has their phone. Everyone can look at prices. Another thing we run into is people, they'll get on their phone and they'll find a unit that we have, but they'll find it up in Indiana or Illinois, just a few hundred miles from the factory. So that's where the freight comes in. They might love that price, but then they realize, okay, now I've got to get it down here somehow. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to get it here. So
right.
I've just never seen freight be added to the price. It's always been something that's included in the price.
All right. So this isn't just some shady sales trick. It is deception. It's fraud, and it's against the law. And the worst part, most buyers never see it coming until it's too late. It may have even happened to you. Now, this may be common practice some places nowadays, but you don't have to be one of their victims. And now you know the truth. If a dealer offers you some kind of a deal, great deal, whatever the deal is, get it in writing. Don't take their word for it. As I said, get it in writing. If they won't put it in writing, you can scratch them off your list, because they're setting you up. Again, before you buy an RV, get the out the door price in writing. And if the dealer refuses to provide a breakdown of the fees up front, walk away. And if you see these deceptive tactics happening, report them. That's right, report them. And that's where you come in. If you believe in standing up for the truth and exposing these bad actors, I hope you'll spread the word. Scan the QR code you see right down here, or click the link in the description down below to access the full Google document on how to fight back against these sleazy RV dealers. I'm grateful that Terry Marshall pulled me aside to talk about this the other day. And when I mentioned that the dealership he works for, RV Station, is one of America's most trusted RV dealers, I hope that you can now see why. They are good folks, they really are, who just want to see the playing field be leveled and not see people being taken advantage of. I hope you'll check them out, give them an opportunity to earn your business. Finally, I'd like to hear from you. Have you or someone you know ever experienced this kind of deception? Leave a comment below if you would. Email me at rvwingman@gmail.com or call me anytime, 24/7. The number's on the screen, 1-330-WINGMAN, 1-330-946-4626. Together, we can put an end to this fraud. We can, and we can help protect future RV buyers from getting ripped off. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Bye-bye, everybody.